In this video, I will be discussing my opinion on record labels. Well, basically, are record labels still helpful? So, in my opinion, record labels, they can be very helpful to a certain extent. We're in a time where we have a lot of things to self-promote yourself. For example, we have SoundCloud, Apple Music, Spotify, things like that. YouTube, TikTok. I think TikTok is one of those apps that you can really like sell yourself out there to get the eyes that you want. So, well, also on the top of that, in certain situations, on using certain platforms, it might bring a major record label or a label that wants to advertise you. But it's all up to you if you want to do that or not. But um, like I said before, nowadays we're at a point where people can promote themselves and they can do it however they want because you gotta think about it. Once you get part of a major label or any type of record deal that you make, the contract that you sign basically says that they're in charge of what you do and how you do it. So let's say, for example, you have the craziest, best idea ever. You know, they might not agree with it, and that might mess up the type of person that you want to become and that you feel is the best person that you can be. For example, if I want to make a song and I feel like these ad libs that I want to add part of the song would be the best, that would get people eyes and ears. And my record label, they don't want me to do that. And of course, I signed the contract. I have to do what they want, and I'm not getting attention I want from people because people are not digging what they're hearing because it wasn't my idea. And I feel like my idea was what I wanted would have been way better. So uh, I feel like certain labels can be good though. It's like the labels I think that are good are like, for example, like back then, Death Row, like labels like that, like labels that have a history of being great, like doing great things. Like you understand, like um, I feel like smaller labels that don't really have much attention. I really don't feel like those are helpful. Like I think the record label Snoop Dogg and Tupac dudes like them were in that was very helpful because I mean, where I'm from Compton, California, where Tupac he migrated from New York over there and he got part of a record label which was Death Row Records. Suge Knight was the co-founder of that, so I feel like certain labels can help somebody become who they want to be because even though Tupac passed away, he's like a living legend where I'm from. Like, like that's all you hear nowadays. Tupac this, Tupac that. Oh, this guy's gonna be the next Tupac. He needs to find the right, right deals. And another big thing about if I'm kind of iffy about labels, I feel like with certain record labels, they tend to play with somebody's money. And that's one thing a lot of people don't want to get played with their money. So back then, I feel like back then when artists were signing, they weren't really understanding what they were signing or reading. I feel like nowadays people are so open about what's best for them that people really want to make that same mistake because there were bad record labels. It's called like people believe in what is that called it's basically like a ritual where you just embarrass yourself to become, a part of a label. So I feel like people feel like that will happen. Like if anybody just get a bad vibe from a label, they probably won't join. But anyways, I feel like the time we're living in, major labels, they're really not that needed no more. I feel like anybody who's really getting the right attention can do it themselves. Like it's not really a big thing. Like back then, you had to get part of like the what's New Edition. They had to get a record label. They had to be a part of a record label. Temptations, the Jackson Five, like those people. Like I feel like nowadays it's really like independence. Like you really don't need a major label, or you don't need a label at all. Like I feel like if I really wanted to become a rapper or a singer right now, I feel like I could put myself around the right people without a label and still get to where I want to go just by promoting myself. And I feel like TikTok, like it's people I know from back home or just from anywhere that makes a song, put it on TikTok, and it becomes a trend, and boom, like there's that now. Like they're making money, and yeah, that's my whole thing about the record labels.